Psych! Jag trodde de visste vad Dizzy är about. I'm the dirtiest from dirty south. Lika dirty som en 38. Här omkring vi får en spotta. Lägger 3 i din kofta. Lite för ung för er, lite för tung för er. Lite för djungel för er, lite för slummen för er. Vi sitter många som ler här i mitt kvarter. Jag svär det är för mycket som sker. Aina de hänger inte med.
For the past couple of years, Sweden, known as a safe and beautiful place, has had a major downfall. It has gone from being a country with the lowest crime rates in Europe to having one of the highest. The downfall of Sweden is real, and it has given it the name of Europe's capital of gun crime, where kids on mopeds with tucked weapons are sent to do murder for hire or setting explosives in front of the doors of their rivals' relatives. Gang-related shootings, drug trafficking, robberies, and extortion keep setting new records year over year, and it doesn't seem like it will slow down anytime soon either. Is there any hope still left for Sweden? In this surveillance video from a local gym in Sweden's capital, Stockholm, midday just after lunch, we see a 16-year-old kid entering the gym dressed in all black with a COVID mask covering his face. As soon as he gets in, he points the gun at the receptionist and walks past, taking the stairs down to the other room. Only seconds later, we hear 3 shots being fired from the pistol. People start panicking, running out of the gym as we can see. One after the other running up the stairs, and there comes the shooter. Still gun in hand. Everybody's running for the exit. While the shooter takes the wrong turn, he can't find the exit. He asks somebody where to go. Finally, he finds the door and he leaves the building. 54-year-old Fredrik Andersson, who wasn't even the kid's intended target, tried to intervene against the shooter and tried to stop him by wrestling him down. Instead, he himself, a father of 3 who worked as a security guard, was shot dead. A total of 3 shots were fired, one of which hit Fredrik Andersson in the head. The intended target was a member of the criminal motorcycle gang known as Bandidos, who we can see running out right here. He got away from the situation uninjured. The 16-year-old Frunze Sagatelian was convicted eventually for having shot dead Fredrik Andersson at Delta Gym. But before he got caught, he went to Armenia, where he stayed for 3 months. He was abroad for some time after the murder, until the beginning of July, but then was arrested in connection with his return home back to Sweden. It was not the first time that a 17-year-old had been on the run from the police. He got sentenced to closed youth care for 2 years and 11 months for the murder. But only a few months later, in connection with a dentist visit in Södertälje on April the 13th, Frunze was freed by armed perpetrators. He was on the run for over 1 week before he could be arrested in connection with a search of an apartment in Strängnäs due to an unrelated drug crime. When the police checked a person in the residence, it turned out to be Frunze. After the arrest, Frunze was detained and returned to the correctional service. As you can see, things are crazy in Sweden right now. Sweden has seen a worrying increase in fatal shootings and crimes involving drugs and guns. Since 2013, the number of deadly shootings has more than doubled according to official statistics. Much of the violence has occurred in larger cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg, Malmö and Uppsala. In 2022, the rates of gun murders in Stockholm was about 30 times higher than in London when adjusted for the population size. However, The unrest has now spread to the smaller cities as well. Experts point to complex socio-economic factors being behind the violence. The Swedish police has identified certain vulnerable areas across the country where only 5% of the population lives, but which account for the most serious violence. These vulnerable areas tend to have high proportion of residents born outside of Europe and second or third generation immigrants, as well as long-term socio-economic challenges like unemployment and poverty rates double the nation average. Over 80% of these areas face socio-economic issues, with half classified as having major challenges. Authorities report that criminal gangs are increasingly recruiting young people and children in these vulnerable areas. Data shows suspects in gang-related violent crimes like manslaughter and murder are getting younger and younger. In the year 2012, 15 to 20-year-olds made up 16% of suspects in such crimes. By 2022, that figure has risen to 30%. For gun-related murders and manslaughter specifically, less than a quarter of suspects were aged 15 to 20 a decade ago, but in year 2022, the proportion was close to half. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. And I see you in the next one.